what stops the artist from doing so? Is it just pure fear of people making fun of them or of, things like that? But I've always found that when I'm honest about my work, whether it be my writing, whether it be like my new book, which is as honest as I could possibly be, a film that I direct, when I'm honest about it, that's when the magic is. But it's scarier.
Well, I'm not sure that there's one answer to that, but I think part of that answer is not trusting that your story is good enough, that your point of view is good enough, worrying that other people won't enjoy it, worrying that somebody who really knows finances but doesn't know art is telling you, I don't think it's funny. Okay, then I'll look for somebody who does, and you won't produce it, or you won't be my agent. But I think it comes out of fear is part of it, but it comes out of the sense that there's the sense that I'm not enough. For me, a perfect example is I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. It's the director who directed Enough Said, Friends with Money, Please Give, Nicole Holofcener.
Okay, I don't know.
I think I'm mispronouncing her name. Mm-hmm. She makes these beautifully crafted, beautiful movies, comic movies, and there's very little slapstick. There's no big gags. There's not a lot of sex scenes. 13-year-olds are not drawn to her movies, and yet her movies are wonderful. Mm-hmm. But it has a kind of a limited viewership so far. Mm-hmm. And I think people are worried that if they don't put in the big dick joke, mm-hmm. that they won't make money, or they won't sell, or the studio will be disappointed. So there's fear, and sometimes it's a justified fear, because I mean, how many 5-star restaurants are there out there, and how many McDonald's are there out there? So if you're studying to be a chef, should you go to a McDonald's and see what's made them so successful?
Different model, different everything.
Yeah, I mean, you have to strive towards your own sense of excellence, and know that doesn't translate into an economic model necessarily.
Wow, honestly, you've kind of blown my mind a little bit, because there was that light bulb that just went off in my head when you said, if you're trying to be a chef, if you're training to be a chef, why would you go to McDonald's to see how? Because they're very successful.
Yeah, but
it's a different kind of success, as opposed to why wouldn't you go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and see how he's doing it, and why, or a fine dining restaurant that has the 5 stars.
Let's not say Gordon Ramsay, because I don't think that food that's yelled at is as good.
Fair enough. It's one of the few chefs I know. Wolfgang Puck.
I hate you omelet.
Yes, exactly. But I think one of the issues with Hollywood in general is too, so many people go to watch studio movies that are financial vehicles. They're made for money. They're not made particularly for story. Every once in a while, someone sneaks in a story. Every once in a while, you get one of these, that has money behind it, has big stars, and has a story. But they're becoming rare and rare, much rare.
But you know what the studio system does so well is taking stories that already work, mm-hmm. and visualizing them.
Correct.
That's why the Marvel movies do so well.
Yeah.
Because those stories were great when they were 10-cent comics. Mm-hmm. And these great craftsmen and technicians and great actors, mm-hmm. visualize them for us, but the story's already there. Mm-hmm. The characters are already there. And to give them credit, they don't screw the characters up. The Marvel characters were screwed up human beings to start off with when they were 10 and 12-cent comics, and they're still screwed up human beings. All the movies did was honor that, as opposed to the DC movies in which they can't figure out, the stories came out of, we do right. We're the Justice League. We do right because that's the right thing to do. Guys,
it's not enough.
Really? And so they kind of veer between, let's go as dark as possible and let's have lots of wisecracks. They still have. I haven't seen Aquaman. I understand Aquaman is a little bit better than.
Wonder Woman was wonderful. I thought Wonder Woman was wonderful.
Wonder Woman was good.
From the DC world, that is as good.
From the DC world. I mean, it was female empowerment, and it was in a period that wasn't the modern day. So I think they kind of solved it in a good way. But I think what movies do so well is take existing stories and help us see them for who they are, like Lord of the Rings. Whereas if you want to see a really good movie, take a look at an independent, see what's coming out of Sundance, see what somebody has made that wasn't made through the studio system, but made because this is the story I want to tell, like Eighth Grade.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's amazing.
Oh, it's so good, and it obviously, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm totally wrong about this, but to me, it obviously wasn't made after a story conference at Sony.
No, I'm almost positive it wasn't.